Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shamokin, Pennsylvania, and our old friend Kemp Memorial Stadium, where tonight the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes, 12-1, play host to the Marian Catholic Colts, also 12-1, in this Pennsylvania Eastern PIAA Class 2A final game, the last bump on the road before Hershey. And this one has it all. Two teams that know each other about as well as you're going to get to know each other, playing each other 5 or 6 times now in the last 3 or 4 years. We, of course, met the Marian Catholic Colts this season in a regular season game, Game 5, Week 5 of the season. And the Colts came out of that game with a 47-6 shellacking by the Red Tornadoes on their own home field. So there's a lot of things that are going to play into tonight. You got a revenge factor, obviously, on the Marian side of the ball. And you got Mount Carmel area trying to deal with a team that you've beaten so handily, but some time ago, about 8 games ago, in fact, when you finally saw them last.
October 6th. And both teams are coming in with the same record, as you said. They're 12-1, both teams. Their only loss is to the Tornadoes.
Right.
And again, turned their season around. And if you remember October 6th, when both teams played, we were both 5-0 at that point. Coming into the Eastern Finals again, both have the same record, 12-1. But I don't know if this game can compare to the game of last week, Warren. It was the buzz of town. No matter who you talk to, if they watched it on the TV or was here at the game, it had to be one of the greatest games played in Tornado history. Just a great, outstanding game. One thing that we have to be careful of with the Tornadoes is that they don't become overconfident in this game. But I don't think that's going to happen the way everybody was talking before the game here. They're nice and loose, and they're ready to play a big game, Warren.
Well, yeah, I mean, coming off last week's game, one of the most exciting games you're ever going to see in high school football, and especially when you get into this kind of level of football, it was just everything you could possibly have in a game and then some. Of course, I want to thank everybody for the get well cards. I know I did ultimately survive that, although it was touch and go, but just a great game. So much emotion in the game, and that's what you worry a little bit, as the Colts had a little bit easier time with DeLone Catholic than we did with, of course, the Chiefs of Lakeland. But I think all in all, you'll see the same thing we talked about at the first time of this meeting and in Week 5. On the sideline of the Marian Colts, of course, in their blue and gold, they'll be wearing all white uniforms tonight, of course, the big red in their all red uniforms. Tchaikovsky, the quarterback, the coach's son, he's a key. Right. The other guy is Donati, number 49. He had over 200 yards rushing against DeLone Catholic last week. He's had a fabulous season. He really has.
4 touchdowns.
Four touchdowns. Okay, so 4 touchdowns. So those two guys make it go. Now, the thing you want to look at here is there are 2 other things. Number 1, Theta, number 20, the fullback, the starting player, the guy that's been there all year, is out. He got hurt. He will not play tonight. That is a big difference for the Marian Colts offense. The other thing you want to look at here is what Tchaikovsky is compared to what we saw last week from that quarterback from the Lakeland Chiefs. Krakey, probably a much better quarterback, a much more mobile quarterback, and he took the beating of his life last week. The question here is, can Mount Carmel area keep up that pressure on Tchaikovsky? Because if they can, quite simply, the Colts will not win the football game. He needs to have a big game. He needs to throw the ball when he has to. He threw very little in the first game. It was a windy day, but he threw very little and was under constant pressure the whole time.
I think in that first game he had, he was 12 of 17, I think, and he had 134 yards. In fact, it was almost the same as Dave Shinsky had. Dave Shinsky had about 140 yards. And it was a windy day that day. But, again, whatever they did from that point on during the season, they've certainly changed their program and turned their program around. Whether it's enough to sustain a 4-quarter game against the Tornadoes tonight, that's yet to be seen.
Well, 2 hours from now, you'll know that. This is District 4, Mount Carmel area versus District 11, the Colts of Marian Catholic. We're very shortly getting ready to have the captains go out and meet at midfield. Mount Carmel area came out of that game last week, thankfully, with no injuries. Everybody was healthy. Of course, everybody's kind of dinged up, and both sides will see that a little bit, as it's just been a long season. It's very cold tonight. It's as cold as it was last week. The temperature will drop to near 20 degrees here at Kemp as the game progresses. We look at the field. We talked about it last week. We'll say it this way. The field is in excellent condition. In fact, I do not believe you can play on a better kept field right now anywhere in Pennsylvania than you will on this Kemp Memorial Field, as they got the new turf down. They have taken care of. We talked to a good friend of ours in the Shamokin School Board, Mike Carpenter, and he was talking a little bit about last week about this turf and all that went into it and the money spent to do it. And it's truly money well spent, as this is an absolutely excellent football field. So we expect no problems from the field tonight. No matter how cold it gets, this field will be perfect right to the end. So you can take that out of the equation a little bit. It's a calm night. There is no wind. The flags are not moving. There's nothing like that to impede any kind of passing attack. So it's going to basically be two teams that just know each other very well and have had a grudge match relationship for the last few years. They're going to meet each other, and this is for everything there is. This win right here either puts you at Hershey or you go home for the year and start next year. So yeah, I expect just an absolutely fabulous and riveting game here as these two people line up. Mount Carmel area, of course, John Veach, I cannot say anything about him I haven't said last week. He had one of the best football games I've ever seen a young man play on both sides of the ball. Importantly, on both sides of the football. He was absolutely stupendous. So he will again be the key for Mount Carmel area, as always. He will be the key to that offense. Shinsky, the quarterback, and of course Ziegler, the fullback. Don't expect to see much different from us, but what you will see, I think, from the Colts is everything. They will probably win, I think, pull everything out of the hat they possibly can.
Well, they know the type of team that the Tornadoes have. They were up here with us last week, one of the men from Marian, and they were taping the game. So they saw what type of game we had last week. For them to win the game, they have to pull out all the stops. They have nothing to lose in this game. You know, the Tornadoes have everything. They want to go back to Hershey. You know, the Colts, it's been a number of years since they've been at Hershey, and they want to be there again. But they're coming back again, like you said, from October 6th, from a shellacking from this exact team right here. So you're right. You're going to see just about everything and anything.
Yusenchak tees it up to kick. He's kicking deep down there. Donati in the middle. You got Boretsky, number 22, and Honus, 33. He dribbles it down. They're letting Boretsky pick it up. And Boretsky heads up the field and nearly breaks it loose over to 35, up to the 37-yard line of the Colts. Well, they take over 1st and 10. And we'll see, I believe Boretsky, number 22, will be in the backfield and stay there as the fullback. We'll wait and see who they line up in that fullback spot. And, of course, taking the place of number 20, Theta. Theta, the starting fullback, is down on the sidelines, but he's in his civilian clothes and not suited tonight as he incurred an injury last week. Donati with the ball right away, and he breaks loose into over the 40-yard line, up to about the 43-yard line of the Colts.
Now, one thing everybody was impressed about last week when they played against Malone Catholic was the play of their offensive line. Their offensive line has stepped it up in the second half of this season, which is the playoff season now, and have started opening up some holes and gotten very aggressive in their offensive play.
Brings up a 2nd and 4 as Donati picks up 6 on the initial carry of the game for the Colts. Again to Donati. This time he tries to get outside of Cuff, but he's not doing it, as he'll be brought down right along the line of scrimmage, and he may actually lose a little bit of yardage there as they move the ball back slightly, but it'll bring up 3rd down now and a long 4 as they place the ball back, this time right on the 44. So about 3rd down and long 4.
See, the thing there is Cuff in that replay, Cuff made enough penetration that it made Donati take about 3 yards deep. He came towards the line and then stepped back to get away from Cuff.
Dukoski will bring him up, puts a man in motion. He has a split backfield, and he's looking to pass right away. And Ziegler puts some pressure on him, and now he's being chased by Booker
and Brown.
And Brown. Brown finally puts the hit, but Booker hemmed him. So a loss on the play all the way back to the Marian Colt 37-yard line brings up 4th down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was what we talked about. Stan Dukoski needs to have some time. He is not Evan Crakey. He does not make his own time. So unless you give him time, the Colts could be in for a long night. Clea and Veach line up deep for the kick. Dukoski, the quarterback, is also the punter, as is ours. Nice kick, nice high kick. It's going to Veach, who calls a fair catch at the Mount Carmel area 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Mount Carmel area for the first time tonight on offense.
Well, offensively, we've seen what the Colts bring on. Now it's going to be the defense. We've seen over the past couple of weeks with the Tornadoes that they again have stepped it up. Definitely have stepped it up in the second half of this season now, and you know, given a lot of holes, a lot of room for John Veach to run.
puts Jusenchak in motion and moves him over the other side of the line as he lines up as the tight end now. And again, right to Veach as Veach tries to pick his way, and he does. And he'll pick up just about 6 yards in the play. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 now for the Red Tornadoes.
Come in, their first defensive stand there was a 5 defense. It looked like they had 3 linebackers. They're trying to contain, it sort of looks with that defensive move that they're trying to contain towards the center between the 2 ends. Come in with a 5-3.
Again to Veach, right up the middle. Reached out, but he's going to have enough for very close. He's first down. First down.
Again, the defense jumping around a little bit. They come in with a 5 and they jump back into a 4 defense. Their nose guard jumped back into a linebacker position and jumped into a 4-4.
Well, that's one thing we've seen from the Colts repeatedly over the years. Certainly they're not married to one defense. They move on defense a lot of shifting, a lot of different looks on defense, and the Red Tornadoes need to be able to adjust in the line of scrimmage to what it is they're doing. This time we come with Ziegler as the lone back, and Shinsky's looking to pass right away. And he was looking over in the direction of Medal, or is that Clea or Clea? Clea, okay. So Clea. Pass goes incomplete. It'll bring it down a 2nd down and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes. The ball sitting right at the Mount Carmel area 43-yard line.
We had some pressure on the right side there. Well, it's to be our left side. And I don't know if it sort of looked like the ball was tipped after Dave released it. It did die in the air a little bit and hit in front of the receiver.
Ziegler right up the middle. Ziegler's up over the 45-yard line at the 46-yard line. Gain of 3, it'll bring up a 2nd down, or 3rd down and 7 now for the Red Tornadoes.
Great call again. We got the defense keying on Veach, and as he went in motion to the right, he did shift the defense over a little bit, and Ziegler did get tripped up going through the line that time, or he would have had some clear sailing down the field.
The Red Tornadoes need to hurry a little bit there. They do get it off, and Shinsky's under heavy pressure. Throws it out of bounds. He was trying to get the Clea, and Mount Carmel area will be forced to punt the ball here on the 4th down and 7. So the Colts defense playing tough here on that first series. A lot of pressure on the quarterback the 2 times he went back to pass. And Beretsky and Donati back deep. A high snap, but Shinsky gets it off. Kind of knuckleballs. It's going to hit the ground, bounce. Takes a nice Mount Carmel bounce, and it keeps going. And it's going to go all the way down to the 12-yard line where the Colts will take over. 1st and 10, deep in their own territory. You got 8 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play.
Again, I think if the Colts are going to stay in this game, their defense is going to have to step it up and really play. That time in the last 3rd down, they ran a stunt in the center and blitzed their middle linebacker, which put a lot of pressure on Dave Shinsky. That kind of play is going to have to continue tonight.
Gives it to Donati right up the middle there, and Donati continues to gain some yardage all the way out to about the 15-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Colts. Well, the Colts need to move a little bit here. I'm sure they don't want to try to kick from down here if they can. Donati again. Donati trying to find some yardage, and Cuff says absolutely not. No gain on the play as Cuff and Matsura, but Cuff was the guy that made the play. So it'll bring up a 3rd down now and 7 for the Colts. And I guess my question always is going to be in that situation is, why continually try to run at Cuff since I mean, he has not let anything go around him now since I can remember last?
Yeah, the left tight end, the tight end there, number 89, tried to take Cuff on head-to-head and certainly did not win that game.
Split backfield. He fakes it, and he's looking for a shovel pass, and he's got a shovel pass out there to number 40. That's Blasco. Blasco takes it up to about the 20-yard line the 30-yard line for the first down. A nice play by the Colts that time as they relieve some pressure from the pass rush.
Here it is. They bring Ziegler back. They suck him back a little bit towards Dukoski, and he pitches it. It was a forward lateral, forward pitch to number 40, and he takes off down the field. And we said those are the types of plays that are going to keep them in the game.
1st and 10 for the Colts from the 30. We head right up the middle there to Blasco, the fullback, and he charges ahead for about 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Colts. Dukoski goes back to pass. He's looking over here for number 22. 22 was covered well there. That's Boretsky on the pass, but Clea covering him. The ball was high. It'll now bring up a 3rd down and about 6.
Take a look here. You can see they're trying to isolate a little square out pass to number 22, but Josh Clea is right there to make the hit.
Donati up the middle. He will not get the first down. It'll bring up 4th down now for the Colts. 4th and about 2. And the Colts will kick.
They're intent on running in between the two tackles with Donati, trying to break a hole up, but we've seen over the last couple of weeks here that with Swank, the guard, Brown, and I think we have number 55.
Another nice kick by Dukoski. You could tell right away it was going to be high and it's going to hit, and it's bouncing around. You got to stay away from it. Actually, it bounced straight up in the air, so it was a good play for Mount Carmel area as they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 now. We'll see what the Red Tornadoes do on their 2nd time around here in offense.
Those punts are the scary ones, especially when they kick into a crowd.
Yeah, and they bounce in the crowd there.
They bounce in the crowd. You don't know where that ball's going to go, and I know Coach is over there with his heart up in his throat probably.
Well, you saw it bounce right off of Crakey's back last week, which is an unusual play. Now he brings Matsuri in motion. And he pitches to Veach going the opposite way. He's got Ziegler out in front of him.
Look at that.
Veach is through.
Oh, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, just watch it happen because nobody's catching him. Touchdown, Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes.
I'll tell you why. You take a look at the lead block there. You got Booker pulling number 50, the guard. He went through the hole because everybody else was already blocked. Plus, you already had Ziegler going through the hole, trying to pick someone else up. And, it was just shielded out. And Veach had nobody to even touch him, didn't even slow him down at all. And you could see the explosion on Veach as soon as he's going through the hole because he's automatically 5-10 yards downfield before you even notice it.
We'll show you this replay after the kick here as Yasenchak tries to get his kicking shoe on and trots out there for Big Red. He had an odd kick last week that I swear was good. I mean, I looked at it I don't know how many different ways. I still think that kick was good last week. It blocked in the middle there. The big guy, 50, Ryan, came through and blocked it. So Mount Carmel area will remain out at a 6-0 lead at the 4:50 mark of the first quarter. Is the pitch to Veach. Watch, I don't know if you'll go see him. Look at Ziegler. As Ziegler sealed the sideline there. And once he takes that step past the initial wave, and this is a point to make here, we talked about it for every game, and there's different levels of what the difference in speed is. But I'm telling you now, the speed on the Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes will be pronounced compared to the Colts. Yeah. They are not a very fast football team, and they are not going to do any catching from behind that way.
Yeah, it was very obvious that as soon as he got through the wave, and you sort of blink, he gets there, and you wonder if he's going to be tackled, and like all of a sudden you look and he's 5 yards past right through the wash he goes.
So the Big Red out to a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter, and the Colts, I know, were thinking in their mind, we want to score first. We need to get some momentum here, considering the game that happened to them the last time, but it did not happen. So we'll see how they respond once they get the ball. Deep down there, of course, is Donati in the middle. He's the guy you got to really watch. He is the speed on the Marian team. He is it. You got number 22 sitting on the one side of him, and that, of course, is Boretsky and Honus, number 33 on the far side. Honus is I don't look at Honus' size if I can get it off here. He's a freshman. I was going to say, he looked like a small one. He's 5'10", 165-pound freshman. So Honus is a highly thought of player if he's starting in an Eastern final here.
You're not kidding.
And back there to receive the kickoff. So we'll keep our eye on number 33 there. Of course, Boretsky, 22, we knew from last year. He's been around a while. I've said his name, and of course, Donati needs no introduction for this group. And we'll see what the Red Tornadoes elect to do, and they bounce it again down there. And again, they'll let Donati, and Donati's going to cross over to 30. And he puts it up to about the 34-yard line where the Colts take over 1st and 10. Here you can see from the end zone, and watch the seam he tries to find. Look at where everybody's heading. He sees an opening there, but watch how quickly this opening closes, and it just like that, it's over. Dukoski brings him up, and he's going to hand it to Donati again. Donati's free this time. And Donati up for the first down on a big carry up to the Marian Catholic 49-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and he broke right through the middle of the line that time.
Yeah, he went right over the center of the line, right off guard. It was a straight dive play. And take a look here. Here it is. I think we sort of were pinching to the outside because we were blitzing that time and trying to create a gap, and they ran right through the gap.
Donati again, and this time, whoa, that's just Senchak and Matsura and Brown. But Matsura really on the whack as he got into the hole. He gained just about a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9, not even a yard on the pickup. Well, this time Matsura says, nice hole last time, but nothing doing this time. As the two linebackers are still playing absolutely outstanding football behind that great defensive line. This time he shifts everybody around. He has Donati out of the backfield now, and Donati is split to his left, but he looks the other way, right. And he's still looking, and Ziegler's going to, he takes a nice hit on the sidelines. All the way down at the Mount Carmel area, 46.
Oh, boy, Matsura put a shot on him.
He paid the price at the sideline there, but he picks up enough yardage down to he goes out at the 48-yard line. So the 48-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd down now and a long 8.
Coverage was very good this time down in the backfield, and that is the reason why Stan could not get the ball off. Ziegler went up in the air, blocked his view. He pulled the ball back down and tried to go around the end.
This time he'll keep Donati as the lone back in the backfield. And he pitches to him, and he tries to get outside of Cuff. And Cuff held him up enough, but he's still going. Nobody wrapped their hands that time. And he takes it down to about the 45-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. But it'll bring up 4th down and about 4.
Tell you what, Donati's a tough runner.
Yeah, he is.
He got hit there a couple times coming through the line, at least 3 times. And Matsura was the one that had to bring him down. But Matsura did wrap his arms and hit him down low.
He took several hits, but nobody wrapped him up. As they just kept bouncing him backwards a little bit there, and he finally found a seam to turn up. Cuff did exactly what you want. Cuff hemmed him in the inside and took him back into the wash, but he did gain some yardage, but the Colts will kick, and Dukoski fakes it. It's a fake by Dukoski, and he's slinging it down to Boretsky, but he got it too far, and the Colts will cough the ball up back at the Mount Carmel area, 46-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, and we said, Wayne, the Colts were going to gamble, and they just did.
They have to. They're down by a score. They can't give up another score this early in the game. If not, it's going to be a long night for them. And you're right, they have to do it and hit. And that was a good play. Josh Clea was the one. He noticed right away that they were not punting. And what he did, he ran down and got in front of the receiver and slowed him down enough that the ball was over his head.
The Big Red comes up. They keep Veach as the lone back this time, and they go power outside to that left. And he's nearly caught in the backfield, but he keeps churning along, and we'll bring it back up to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. A nice way to get back to the line of scrimmage, as that time the Colts knew what we were doing.
Well, How many times we've seen that play a number of times. We set up slots and splits and trips to that side and leave Veach there. And what we're trying to do is spread the defense out, and we pitch to that side. And what the Colts did that time is they favored their defense in that direction, and they looped into that direction also. So they're trying to cut the field off on Veach.
Shinsky puts Lantini in motion now as he crosses by. And again, right to Veach again. And this time Veach has a seam, and Veach is still running strong, and he crosses over midfield, and he'll take it down to the Marian Catholic 43-yard line, where he's going to come up about 2 yards short of the first down, and he'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
It's amazing the strategy that goes on here. You take a look, they did put Lantini in motion that time, and the whole defense for Marian had to shift to compensate for Lantini going in motion to the left side. They did rotate that way, and when you do that, you take one man out from this side on the left side where Veach was running.
This time we got a full house power backfield with Brown along Ziegler there, and the Colts go offside, I believe.
Yep.
We'll see if I didn't see us move, but we'll see.
No, it was the right tackle on this side.
To go against the Colts, so the Colts, a costly penalty on a 3rd down and 2 play, go offside, pick up 5 yards on the play. It'll put it at 1st and 10 now. The ball down at the Marian Catholic 43-yard line.
Not too much arguing about that one.
No,
that was a little obvious. There were 2 of them in the zone, and one actually made contact.
Minute 23 remaining here in the first quarter. Mount Carmel area now driving into Marian Catholic territory. Ziegler up the middle, and Ziegler continues to churn and churn, and he's going to cross over the 40 down to about the Marian Catholic 39-yard line. Picked up about 2 hard yards on the play.
Yes, he did.
He got hit by about 9 guys where he finally went down, but Ziegler keeps on churning there.
In the first down play for the Tornadoes, the Colts automatically stay in their 5 defense. They're trying to control the line a little bit. That time we put Veach in motion, and Ziegler almost broke it. He only needed 1 or 2 more blocks there, and he would have been gone because everybody just went after Veach.
2nd and 8 now for the Red Tornadoes, and he brings Lantini towards him that time, but Veach trying to cut outside, and a nice tackle in there at the last second by 10, and that's O'Gurick for
11.
the Colts.
Yeah, that was a shoestring tackle. Veach was looking downfield, and all he did was swiped at his ankles and brought him down.
3rd and 3 now for the Colts as the ball sitting right near the 35-yard line. And I'm not sure, what are we doing now? Yeah, that might be the end of the quarter as it counts down. Yes, that's, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the first quarter of play here at Kemp Memorial Stadium, with Mount Carmel area leading 6-0 over the Marian Colts in this Eastern Final. And it'll give me a chance to remind everybody you are watching WKMC TV. We're the broadcast arm of Mount Carmel Area High School. You catch us every Wednesday night, 8 p.m., Channel 13 service of the courtesy of the Service Electric Cable System. And remember, we are an instructional fixed television service. I'm having a hard time in this one, Wayne. I go 14 games and I forget how to say that part. And remember, we are live every morning of the school year on the school. It's School's In, We're In. Catch them WKMC TV 13 on Channel 13 at 7:30 a.m. And you will know all there is to know about Mount Carmel area football.
Hey, maybe at this time, maybe you want to inform everybody. Since this is shown on Wednesday, we will be at Supper Club Thursday.
Yes.
That Supper Club will not be at Matucci's.
Supper Club will be at the Village Town Restaurant, folks, on Thursday night at about, well, 6:30. Be there early, but we'll be over there this week. A little change of plans for us. We expect a great time over there. We had a great crowd in the last one here. As it gets down to the nitty-gritty, of course, and if we are meeting next week, it means we're going to Hershey, so you don't want to miss anything there is to talk about that state championship game coming up next week if we indeed do win tonight. Veach up the middle. First down as Veach goes inside the 30-yard line down to the Marian 27-yard line.
Boy, some great blocking by Swank and Cuff and Booker that time, right up through the center of the line, knocking people down. In fact, Swank was about 4 yards down the field. He had his man.
Yeah. Big Red continuing to drive here now. Coming off this series is off the failed fake punt by the Colts. And Ziegler up the middle.
Look at Ziegler.
Ziegler's got some run, and he's going. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown. Mount Carmel area. And there you go. Watch the swivel hits on number 40 this time, folks. I don't think his hips could do that as he made the turn there. When you see the rerun of this one, you are going to enjoy this. As the big guy showed, this is the second time he showed finesse on us when we weren't expecting it.
Take a look when he breaks through. Number 2 down the field, the defensive back. He turns him right around. There was nobody out there for him. No, number 5, I'm sorry. He turned him right around in position.
Now, Dukoski had no chance of catching Ziegler in the open field, but that's short of field to go. And just like that, Mount Carmel area out to a 12-0 lead, and Mount Carmel area will elect to go for 2 here as they line up for the extra point attempt. And they've got 2 guys out far right. And we're looking around the throw, and he does finally. And he was looking for Veach, and it's broken up at the last second up there by number 22, Boretsky, who got in front. And the score will remain Mount Carmel area 12 and the Marian Catholic Colts 0.
What a great play, though, to call. We had everybody trips right. We had Veach going to the right, and now we have Ziegler coming back to in the opposite direction. Excellent play calling. We had the defense all shifted out of position for the Colts.
Well, one of the things you got to remember here, and which is you don't see that very often, he had a fullback break into the open and nobody could catch him.
Right.
And, that's showing what kind of speed you have here as the fullback was faster than any kind of Colt that could have caught him. So, again, a short field, but no angle. And even with Dukoski on the full run, couldn't get to him before he crashed over the goal line. So, again, the Colts now in a 12-hole deficit here and 12-point deficit. They need to do something offensively. This game could very, very quickly get away from them.
And that's definitely not that's not what they wanted to do. But, like you said, they were trying to pull out all the stops. We had a shovel pass up in the first quarter coming down. We had the fake punt. So they're trying everything they possibly can to stay in this game.
Dribble it down there, and again, goes right to Donati. This time he's got the wall over on his own side, and he has some room as he got around there. But he's not going to get around Veach. Finally brought down there by Dillo at the 40 as Veach slowed him. But Donati made a nice move, and the Colts are in business at the Mount Carmel area 40-yard line. 1st and 10 on a great run. Boy, and I'll tell you what, you don't see a better wall than that.
That was a great picket fence that was set up that time by the Colts. Had everybody blocked out. In fact, the wave coming back on Donati when Donati was slowed down just slightly and cutting back towards the center of the field, those were the kids that were the ones that caught up to him and tackled him.
Donati right up the middle, and he'll lose 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12 or so for the Colts. Now 2nd down and 11. They gave him a better spot than that, but he was down before. He was down a little further back. But
yeah, Ziegler,
watch the penetration coming through.
Penetration, it stopped him from going in that direction. He cuts back, and Ziegler stayed in his spot, and he makes the tackle.
Well, 2nd down and about 11 for the Colts here. From the 41-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, the Dukoski sends Donati sort of in motion. It was kind of a slow motion as he's looking for it all. He's got Boretsky deep down there and just got it over Boretsky's head. He had Boretsky open there as he streaked to the end zone, but couldn't get the ball to him. It'll bring up 3rd down now and about 11.
That was almost a 50-yard pass, and it was just about on target. Take a look at Dukoski here throwing that ball. They gave him an excellent pocket to step up into to throw it, but that was pretty close.
Yeah, Boretsky did a nice job to get free there. Nice blocking up front for Dukoski, and we told you this. If you give Dukoski time, he's a very dangerous quarterback. What he is not is a real good scrambler. So a 3rd and long here for the Colts in their best penetration so far of the night. Dukoski's looking to keep it, and he broke loose. I don't know how he did that. And he did. He picked up the 1st down as he was, I don't know how he got loose.
I don't know. He ran right by, I think Cuffey was in there. I think Brown was in there at the time.
Nice play by Dukoski. It was the keeper.
And Shoppy, 55. They corralled him, and he still got away.
Nice run.
Very nice run.
So the Colts are in business at the Mount Carmel area, 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Donati tries to get outside. And he's if he picks up a yard on that, he'll be lucky. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. A long 9, in fact, because he really didn't budge much there.
Yeah, they're trying to run inside of Ziegler there. Ziegler takes his block on, and he's automatically turning Donati to the outside. In fact, he took on the blocker and made the initial hit on Donati, and Donati scored it to the outside. And of course, Lentini and Dillo and everybody came up to make the tackle.
Now Dukoski brings him up. Again, Donati looking for room up the middle. He has very little in that Mount Carmel area defense. He could pick up about 2 yards in the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the Mount Carmel area 25-yard line.
That time, Brown and Booker pinched in towards the center and blocked everything up. Donati had no hole to run through, and of course he tries to go over the pile, and Vince Jasenchek is right there to make the hit.
So we'll see what that Colts have in this 3rd and 7, as this is their best shot so far of points here as this game wears on into the 2nd quarter. We have a multiple shift, and no one is in the backfield with Dukoski. Ziegler puts early pressure on, and this time Dukoski's going to go down just over the 25-yard line at the 24. It'll bring up 4th down and probably 5 for the 1st down, and we'll see what the Colts decide to do, and my guess is they got to go for it.
Well, the problem here is that we're getting such good coverage downfield that Dukoski is getting a pocket. He's getting very limited time to look downfield and throw the ball. He's the only one back there. He has no other protection, no halfback back there to block for him. And, he steps up inside. There was a hole there, and he did decide to run the ball that time.
4th and a long 5 for the Colts as Dukoski goes back, and he shovel passes it on the ground. It bounced away. It's an incomplete pass. It just bounced. I mean, it was not a forward lateral. There was a pass. And the Marian Catholic Colts have turned the ball over on downs here in the 2nd quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel area from their own 24 with 8:21 remaining in the 2nd period of play. That play they had some success with earlier, Wayne, but this time Mount Carmel area read it, and there was a lot of traffic in there to begin with.
Yeah, that's what occurred. We had Cuff on that side. He automatically went after Dukoski, but we also had a flow of defenders over there to take up the halfback.
Ziegler up the middle. Ziegler will pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes from the Tornado 33.
You take a look at Ziegler every time he carries that ball. He is so close to breaking for long yardage every time he touched the ball already tonight. It's just one person that's making a tackle. The zones are cleared out. We're putting power to the opposite side, putting Veach in motion to the opposite side, and clearing the defense out. And I'll tell you what, Ziegler's ready to break another one.
He's going to shift Jasenchak to the other side into that tight end position. The Colts shift. We pitch it to Veach. And Veach cuts it up the field, up over the 30-yard line, about the 31 or so. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.
Again, a little bit different. You're getting that ball pitched out to Veach. Veach has enough time now to look downfield to see his blockers and to see where he wants to make his cuts. Although we know that from the previous game that the Colts do have a swarming defense, and they do recover very quickly.
Back to pass goes Shinsky. He's got a guy open. It's Clea in the middle of the field, and Clea's going to take it up over midfield to the Marian Catholic 49-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. Nice pass play.
Great pass. Dave had a lot of time to sit back there. We only had 2 guys out on the pattern. That was Matsur, 21, and Clea, number 2. And Clea is wide open. Nice pattern that he ran in the center of the field. He did hook up, and Dave hits him right on the numbers.
So the Red Tornadoes now back over the midfield stripe and into Marian Catholic territory where they've spent a good part of the evening here in the first half of this ball game. Pitch to Veach, coming right towards us. Veach will cut it up, pick up about 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Again, the Colts in 1st down possession for the Tornadoes are staying in the 5-3. And they're trying to protect the center a little bit, but the 2 outside linebackers are also trying to protect to the outside for a play just as that for the pitch to Veach.
And today I was going to have to hurry a little bit here as they've taken a little extra time, and Shinsky goes into the shotgun here. on a 2nd down and 8. And he's looking over at Veach, and he's got him on the run there, and Veach eluded the tackle, and Veach is down over the 40-yard line, down to the 37-yard line of the Colts, where it is 1st and 10, Mount Carmel area.
Well, I'll tell you what, you get somebody one-on-one with Veach, you better make a strong tackle. You can see here 5 yards off the line of scrimmage is the first hit, and Veach just runs right through that.
Now that's a lot to ask of your defensive back when he's one-on-one out there with Veach. You're right, it was a difficult play to make, and he couldn't do it. So it brings up a 1st down now as Big Red continues to march into Marian Catholic territory. Ziegler right up the middle, and this time he'll only pick up about 2 yards on the play as the Colts were ready for it. Big number 50, Ryan, on the stop for the Colts. Bring up a 2nd down, actually about a yard, a 2nd down and 9. He didn't even get 2 on that one. 5 minutes, 18 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play at Kemp Memorial Stadium.
Well, number 1, Matt Medalis, I'm getting just like you. Medalis, now you got me doing it.
Now you know how it feels, don't you? Veach. And Veach is going to be brought down probably at the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
Number 50 made a nice play.
That's Ryan again.
Ryan. He stayed his ground. He didn't even move. He took the pulling guard on, and he just stayed there and made the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd down and 9 for the Red Tornadoes. Shinsky's looking to pass, and he's got Matsura deep there, and he got over him. He had both guys free and clear. In fact, he had both Clea and Matsura who broke clear on the play. I'm not sure what Clea's looking for down there. I don't know if he thought he was held or something, but it'll be 4th and 9 now for the Red Tornadoes. The ball at the Marian Catholic 37-yard line.
What's amazing, too, is that we are putting 2 men out on that pass pattern, and it is Matsura and Clea. 2 and 21, and every time we put them out so far, they have been out been in the open. They've haven't had much pressure at all.
Timeout, Mount Carmel area. They want to talk about this a little bit. A good played game, no penalties so far. No penalties in this game so far, so you can see these are 2 well-disciplined and focused teams here tonight as they take the field. Marian Catholic Colts are thinking to themselves, if we don't stop them right now, and they put another score on the board before halftime, this hole may be too deep to climb out of. Coach Stokowski's out there giving them that word right now. They have played good defense here in the last few plays. They have really stiffened it up, and Mount Carmel area facing a 4th and 9 now as this series is grinding down a little bit. And we'll see what Coach Brennan over there in the sideline has to say. I'm guessing we're going to see some type of pass play that maybe we haven't seen for a while. I don't know what we want to call it.
Well, he can just go with the plays that we've run so far. I mean, they have definitely been working. They're giving our receivers enough of room downfield, and Dave has had enough of time. I mean, we haven't passed too much tonight or even have shown it, but Dave's had more than enough time to sit there and look over the 2 receivers that we put out on that pattern.
Shinsky goes into the shotgun. He keeps Ziegler next to him for protection. Colts come with everybody. A lot of time. And he intercepted it down at the 20-yard line. Number 11 for the Colts down there. That's Tony Lee on the interception for Marian, and they turn the ball over now at the 20-yard line. The first turnover of the game. Of course, Mount Carmel area suffering from 4 last week.
Right.
That's the first of the game for the Big Red.
Yeah, 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
It was the killer last week, and we still held the game. But I'll tell you what, that was 4th and 10. That was probably just as good as a punt, though, if you really stop to think about it.
Down at the 20, but I'm sure that Shinsky doesn't think that.
I'm not.
But the Colts come up here, and you go right again to Donati, and he's got some room now as he'll take it up over the 35-yard line to just about the 36-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and Donati's having a nice game tonight as he was completely silent. In fact, he rushed for negative yards in the first meeting of these 2 teams. So he's come out this time, and he's breathing fire.
But I'll tell you what, again, just like we had stated, on our side of the line, it's the offensive line here that has really changed a little bit. since that October 6th meeting.
Again to Donati, and again he has some room. He's got number 50 in the backfield. They moved the defensive lineman. That's Ryan. Number 50 is the fullback now. He's taken Feda's place. A much bigger fullback than Feda was. The starter was number 20, and he completely dwarfs Feda as a fullback. Brings up a 2nd down and 2 as Donati picks up another 9 on the play, and the Colts are showing some spark here late in the second quarter with 3:23 remaining here before halftime. Donati the other way this time, and he's trying to get outside, and he does. He is just very elusive. Mount Carmel area now struggling to bring Donati down, and they're in the Mount Carmel area territory now at the Mount Carmel area 45-yard line.
You take a look at Donati running through the line. He has some great head fakes right here. There's one. He gets somebody going to the outside, splits the defenders, and tries to make a second move, but of course Veach doesn't fall for it, and he makes the tackle.
Ryan had his helmet pop off, and he's having trouble adjusting it now to get it back on there. So there was a timeout on the field as he gets back into the huddle, though. So 1st and 10. Colts are in Mount Carmel area territory at the 45-yard line. They got a head of steam going right now. Nothing fancy. Back to Donati. He again breaks through. Fumble! He fumbled! Fumble on a play, and Dillo has recovered. Mount Carmel area has recovered the football at the 30-yard line as Veach hits him, and Dillo cracks him a 2nd time.
Here's the replay. Donati gets a nice hole here again. Number 50 is making some nice blocks back there, the lead blocker, but he gets some great open field. And take a look. It is actually
right
Dillo. Dillo's the
him.
one that strips the ball from him, and he does fall right on top of it and recovers the fumble.
Oh, bad break for the Colts as Donati was really moving him down the field. He fumbles, and Mount Carmel area takes over at their own 30-yard line. Big break for the Tornadoes. Veach looking up the middle. Nowhere to go as he'll gain about a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Colts are tough in the middle right now.
Yeah, and I stated this before, that they do have a very good recovering defense. They are running a 5-3 defense. They have a middle linebacker and 2 outside linebackers, and the outside linebackers are playing over the tackles. The middle linebacker, he's playing over the center. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to protect the center. The other 2 are trying to protect Veach from running off tackle and picking up extra yardage.
Somebody puts Veach in motion. He fakes it to him, and he's going to pass, and he's got Pilarski wide open in the middle as Pilarski all the way down to the Colt 35-yard line. As Pilarski got free down there, and a big pass play from Shinsky to Pilarski.
Well, at that time they jumped into a 6-2 defense, trying to protect on the run. They were having very great success stopping us up the middle right at this point. And what we did was we faked into the center. Dave Shinsky popped up, rolled to the right, and he hit Pilarski 20 yards downfield.
So the Colts call a timeout here as Mount Carmel area has turned the tables on that fumble, and Coach Tukoski is livid in the huddle. I mean, he is livid out there as he's giving his troops the how-to out there. He's basically, I think he was really angry that they let Pilarski get in between them like that. Pilarski is a guy they don't know, although they should remember him, Wayne, as he ran the opening kickoff back
it's a fake
of the second half for a touchdown in the first meeting. And you can see, look how open he is. That's both Tukoski in there, who was trying to cover him, and Beretsky. And they just barely do get him. But I think his speed fooled him a little bit because he's not a guy they see that often as he broke down the middle on him. But Coach Tukoski in one of the most animated coaching huddles you're going to see on the field. Ziegler looking for some space there. And Ziegler's going to pick up probably about 4 yards on the play. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 as the big fullback gets down to the 31-yard line of the Colts.
Again, we come back to our bread and butter play here a little bit. We want to keep the defense a little bit honest. We come out with Veach, going one way or the other. Then we throw a pass, and now all of a sudden we're trying to catch them back on their heels a little bit and hit them with Ziegler up the center.
Shinsky's going to look to pass here. Penalty flag, first one of the game, and they're flying out there. We'll see where this one goes, although I believe it'll go against Big Red. It does, as we have a motion penalty. So it'll bring up second down now and 11 for the Red Tornadoes. And the ball will move back to the 36-yard line. So it took all the way down to the minute 27 mark before the first penalty of the game shows up.
We're coming back with the same play.
Again, a pass play, plenty of time, and this time, I don't know which way he was thrown. I think either Veach went the wrong way or Shinsky didn't see which way he was heading. As Shinsky goes out to ask him what pass play, what route that was, as the two of them talk about it. But he was definitely aiming in a different direction than Veach was running. So now it brings up a third down and 11 for the Red Tornadoes with the ball at the 36-yard line of the Colts. Minute 5 now remaining on the clock here in the first half of play in this Pennsylvania Eastern final football game on the way to Hershey. Shotgun formation again for Shinsky. Keep Ziegler in there again. Plenty of time. He's looking at Clea, and Clea, he had Clea at the end line there, right at the out-of-bounds marker, and it'll bring up a fourth down and 11 for the Red Tornadoes.
Boy, Dave Shinsky had, you talk about that offensive line blocking for Dave. He had a beautiful pocket set up. Had more than enough time to look over any receiver that he wanted to. He did step up into the pocket, and a little bit of pressure came to the outside and made a great throw that time.
So the Red Tornadoes will go for it here. Under a minute and 58 seconds remaining as the stop is clocked on stopped on the incompletion. And we'll set up in that shotgun. Only this time we'll keep two people back and send Veach in motion along the line of scrimmage. Less time now for Shinsky as Whalen puts some room on him, but he's got Veach down there, and Veach will have enough for the first down and then some.
Flag on the play.
Where's the flag at?
Two flags. There's one down on about the 22-yard line. There's one up here on the 40-yard line.
The one down at the 22-yard line is going to be, I think, a face mask. I really do. I don't know what the one up here is, but I think it's a face mask down below. I have no call yet from any officials, so we're still waiting to see what it is they saw. And we're looking at his back now, but we'll try to get a view of what he is. His first one is an illegal man downfield against the Red Tornadoes. Personal foul against the Colts.
Offsetting penalties. Fourth down.
We'll try this again. Be fourth down. 49 seconds now remaining in the half as Shinsky goes over for a play real quick. Clock starts. Shinsky comes back in with the play. The penalty was on Veach on the Colts side. I did not see who was downfield there. Time Shinsky will look deep again. Plenty of time, and he lets it linger. He's heading for Clea. And actually, Dukoski probably could have intercepted a very nice play by not intercepting it and letting us turn it over further up the field at the 36-yard line, where they're going to take over first and 10 with 23 seconds remaining here. We'll see the Colts again. I'm sure they're going right back to Donati. That's been the bread and butter play so far for them in this
I think
second
this one's
quarter.
going to be aired out a little bit.
So he looks over for Boretsky, and Boretsky heads out of bounds right at the first down marker, and I think he picked it up where he stepped out, so it'll be first and 10. He did. First and 10 for the Colts at the Mount Carmel area, just at the 46-yard line. He made it by a couple of inches.
Well, they're going to have to work the sidelines. They have to keep the clock stopped. If I'm not mistaken, they only have one timeout left. I think Coach Dukoski had already called two.
I don't know if they have one or two timeouts left.
I thought he called two so far.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he does have one only. This time we give it to Donati, and Donati is just one tough hombre to bring down. They call a timeout right away as he went down, unfortunately, in the middle of the field at the Mount Carmel area 40-yard line.
Tell you what, Josh Clean makes a great open field tackle here. He did not go for any of the fakes that Donati threw on him. He tries out to the outside and then back to the inside, and he just stayed his ground and made a nice tackle.
So Coach Stokowski out in his huddle. The Red Tornadoes mill around Coach Babinski on the defensive side of the ball as obviously we need to adjust a little bit somehow in the second half to Donati. The line, you're right, the offensive line doing a much better job than we had seen in the first meeting between these two teams. Donati, a very elusive player, but we did control him completely last meeting. And he right now is having his way with us a little bit. There are 13 seconds left here in the half as they'll snap the ball. This may be the only play they have left here, depending on what they decide to do. And he's got, I'm not sure what do you call that backfield there, as he gets everybody shifting around
shifted
there.
Anyway.
Brings Boretsky all the way over to his right side. Big pressure from Ziegler, and he'll get outside of the pressure and head out of bounds. But he heads out with 4 seconds left. The ball, he went out of bounds.
He
down at the 30,
picked up the first down.
29-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. So it's 1st and 10 for the Colts, and they have time for one more football play here in the half.
Yeah, if him picking up the first down doesn't matter much. There's only 4 seconds left. What he needed to do is to get out of bounds to kill the clock, and exactly what he did.
So the Colts down now at the Big Red 29-yard line. They were down here once before and lost it on a fumble as Dukoski brings them up, and he's going to pass. And he's got Cuff in his face, and now he's got a couple of guys in his face, and he has Boretsky streaking through the end zone, but Dukoski took a hammering. And that will end the first half of play as Brown put an exclamation mark on the end of the half with Mount Carmel area in the lead, 12-0 over the Marian Colts. We'll be back with the halftime statistics shortly, and in this time, please take a moment to listen to our fine sponsors. Find out where Beach is on that record. Okay, folks, we're back here to get ready to start the second half of play. The Red Tornadoes just coming on the field. The Colts are on their sideline raring to go, and Wayne has the first half statistics.
I'll tell you what, different game from October 6th. Marian has come to play a game and definitely has shown some improvement in their offensive line, and as we read what they did against Malone Catholic and opening up some holes, they certainly in the second quarter have done the same thing. Mount Carmel in the rushing department, we had 17 carries for 141 yards. Veach, 11 carries for 101, and Ziegler, 6 for 41. And Ziegler has been so close to breaking a few of them, getting through the line, and one person just hitting him and bringing him down, and he could be picking up some big yardage here. In the passing department, Davis, 3 of 10 for 65. Pilarski with that nice catch, 1 catch for 34 yards. Clea, 1 for 21. And Veach, when we threw it out into the flat and got him one-on-one over there, Veach 1 for 10. First downs, 8. On the Colts side, we saw that they picked up more in the second quarter than what they did in the first quarter. 22 carries for 126 yards. And Stan Dukoski in the passing department, 2 of 7 for 25 yards, which is a little bit different than what he did up the first game on October 6th. And that night it was windy. So that must be showing us that, our defensive backs are covering the receivers very, very well tonight, not giving him much time, a lot of pressure from the defensive line. He had 2 of 7 for 25, 8 first downs also.
So a pretty evenly matched first half here for these two squads. The Colts picking up some ground gain this time, which Wayne said didn't happen much last time we met them. So they've been in the game, and of course Donati having a nice game himself here as he has looked a lot better this time around than he did the last time.
Definitely.
So.
And again, the reason that is occurring is because he is getting the blocking at the initial line of scrimmage for him to break through. And you can see how a very good runner he is, an open field runner, once he gets down there. And, he gets in the open. He's very shifty, very quick on his feet. Doesn't have that initial burst of speed or killer speed. But, boy, I'll tell you what, he has some great head moves out when he gets out in the open field.
So we look for an exciting second half here. Mount Carmel area out and up 12-0. The Colts have not been able to, in fact, the Colts have not crossed the 29-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. That was their deepest penetration. They had a real roll going there for a while and ended up fumbling right there at the 29 as Donati was really had a head of steam going, and Veach and Dillo knocked the ball loose and then actually fell on the fumble too, so he had to double hit that time. So that was their best threat so far in the game, and we expect them to come out breathing fire, though. This is it. I mean, your whole season's resting on this next moments of play here. You got 24 minutes to either go to Hershey or not and do everything that, if you're a senior, this is the culmination of your whole career here, whether you can move on or not. And everybody out there in both uniforms is giving that some thought right now. I'm sure they were given that thought at halftime by both coaching staffs that if you win, you go. If you don't, you all think about what you do in your next career if you're a senior here.
Well, offensively, I think the big thing also, they had switch. Remember that Fader wasn't in. He's hurt. But they had in the first quarter, they had a new guy in a fullback blocking position.
Ryan.
But Ryan in the second half, number 50, really in the second quarter really did an excellent job, I think, blocking for Donati.
Colts get ready to kick off. That's John Boyle kicking off for the Colts, and he kind of knuckles it down there. It's going to hit in the middle down there, and that's Clea. And Clea had a seam coming this way. Clea still has a seam, and he's going. He's got to beat Dukoski. And Clea may do it. This is a replay of what happened last year, and Dukoski gets him out at the 4-yard line as Clea breaks it here to start the second half of play, and all the way down to the Marian Catholic 4-yard line where it's 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes, and that's exactly what happened to the Colts last time.
Yeah, and they could not let that happen. They needed to make the tackle. But take a look at the hole coming up, and great seam there, and take a look at Josh Clea just squirting right through there. And I think 56 is down there. He has Dukoski running all over the place, and Dukoski gets the angle on Josh and takes him down at the 4-yard line.
Veach right up the middle. Veach will take it down to about the 1-yard line. I mean, he's right at the 1-yard line, inside the 1 where he finally went down. They're putting the ball down. Okay, it's going to be less than a yard. Second down and goal, less than a yard for the touchdown for the Red Tornadoes. Brown comes into the lineup. He'll line up in the backfield. He'll go to power backfield. We'll see which direction they want to aim it in. Actually, Brown's going to line up in a tight end is where he goes. It's a regular I backfield. Touchdown, Mount Carmel area, John Veach crossing the goal line at the 11:03 mark of the third quarter, and it's Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 18, the Marian Colts 0.
That definitely hurt the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
Opening kickoff for the second half, and you can see the amount of speed that the Tornadoes are putting back there with John Veach. And we don't even put John Veach in the center to receive on kickoffs. We put Pilarski in the center. The ball did dribble back, and Clea did pick it up. But, boy, what an excellent run by Clea.
Yasenchak, I think part of Yasenchak's trouble is trying to keep putting that shoe on. If we could develop a shoe that you could keep on and just push a button and it changes, we could be millionaires in football. You know that. He gets it up there and he's going to miss it. He gets it off to the far right side. So the score will remain Mount Carmel area 18 and the Marian Colts 0. And Big Red is still struggling mightily with the extra points in the last 2 games.
But you keep on putting the defense out there on the field, that they cannot, the Colts can't score. It doesn't much matter what the extra point is doing, as long as you keep on scoring those 6s.
So the Colts will get ready to receive the kickoff from the Red Tornadoes as they have been stunned here to start the second half with a quick Mount Carmel touchdown, the result of a long run by Clea down to the 4, and then 2 plays later, a Veach touchdown. So we'll see how they respond here, and they need to do something quickly now because an 18-point deficit against this particular defense is very difficult.
Especially in the first half. You're talking they didn't get down past the 24, 25-yard line.
I know it's hard to say with 11 minutes left that time was a factor in the third quarter, but it is. It's going to be one if they cannot somehow get together on this next drive here and put something in the end zone.
Now you stop and think about October 6th. Pilarski was the one that received the opening kickoff in the second half, and he did the exact same thing.
Right, that's what I said. It's a replay of what hurt the Colts. If they had any chance at all last time around to stay in the game, it was then, and they couldn't. And now they come back, and history repeats itself as Clea takes it to the 4 on the run back. And Yasenchak gets ready to tee it off, and he'll give it that normal whack down the middle dribble kind of kick. He does. This time it goes to the sideline. Number 44 for the Colts. One of the up guys picks it up. And 44 is Troy Fierstein. As Fierstein brings it up to the 30, let's say the 30-something. I'll tell you when he puts it up. 32-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Marian Colts.
Now we'll see if we made a couple changes. In the last 2 series that they carried the ball, every time Donati touched it, he picked up 10 yards just about.
Again, Donati with the ball, and this time he's knocked down hard as he'll lose a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11, and somebody, I didn't see who put a helmet on him, but they just pounced him.
I did not see anybody because I was watching the wash coming through to the right side, and all of a sudden Donati hits the ground.
I don't know who put the hit on him, but what a hit it was as Donati went down immediately. But, I mean, nobody was laying on him or anything. He just got bounced back, and he fell down, and he got hit so hard. So 2nd down and 11 now. Ball back on the other side of the 30 in Marian Catholic territory as Dukoski sends Donati in motion. And now he turns him right up the middle. And Donati will pick up about 3 yards in the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Yasenchak comes in from his linebacker position to make that hit. There was a nice hole there, and Donati was picking up speed. He was looking downfield for his blockers, but Yasenchak said, no, you're not going too much further than 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. And Cuff comes over and also finishes him off.
So 3rd down play now for the Colts. 3rd and a long 8. As Dukoski's back to pass, Ziegler's holding him inside there. Looks down the middle, and he threw it right at the linebacker, Yasenchak. And Yasenchak will return the ball back down to the Marian Catholic 30, and he threw it right at the big guy, number 6. And Yasenchak picks off the ball for the first turnover for the Colts here. And they have been devastated here in the 3rd period of play.
Yeah, I don't know what he had seen or didn't see. He must have been looking a little bit further downfield for an open man, but if not, he underthrew his receiver because there was nobody around Yasenchak, and that hit Yasenchak right in the numbers.
So Mount Carmel area will go 1st and 10 from just inside the Marian Catholic 31-yard line. There's a timeout on the field, and I believe Marian Catholic called it, as Coach Dukoski is trying to calm his troops down here and, get their heads back on as they've just been hurt here very early in the 3rd quarter. Another score here would put this game over.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say it, but I do not believe the Colts can allow Mount Carmel area in the end zone right now or this game is over.
Well, any type of a sustained drive here, too, from the 30 that eat any time off the clock will also kill them.
I formation, Veach deep on the I formation with Matsura in motion. And pitch back to Veach. A lot of wash on this one as Veach is going to have to cut back, and Veach will take it down just over the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about a yard on the play. It'll bring 2nd down and 9 up as the Colts were all over that play.
Yeah, great pursuit to the right that time. The linebackers, the 2 linebackers, middle linebacker and the corner, the right linebacker came over into the wash. And actually, I don't know how Veach even picked up the 1st down. I mean, he was totally stopped in the backfield and squirted through and did pick up that first
picked up about a yard.
1 yard.
So 2nd down and 9 here for the Red Tornadoes just inside the Catholic 30-yard line. Ziegler in motion this time. We pitch to Ziegler. Ziegler takes his man. Veach finds the cut up, and Veach will go down over the 25-yard line down to the Marian Catholic 24-yard line where it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for the Red Tornadoes.
Take a look at Cuff leading through the hole here. Actually has nobody to block. There's a lot of blocking downfield, and Veach decides to cut back towards the left, towards the center of the field after going through the hole.
Veach with the ball. He goes right up the middle, and he did not get the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down. He's down to about the 22-yard line, and he needs to get inside, just inside the 21 for the first down. So it'll bring up a 4th down, and I would say 1. 4th and 1 now for the Red Tornadoes. They're in Marian Catholic territory. Ball sitting at the 22-yard line. 7:47 remaining here in the third period of play. Mount Carmel out to an 18-0 lead.
And we see Brown, number 31, come in. Of course, that's the power blocking. He's going to be in the backfield.
We'll see what they do. Yeah, now this time he will. The last time on a short yardage, he went over to the tight end position, but this time we go power backfield with Brown in there, the big guy. Long count, and Veach will follow them, and Veach is over the 20-yard line down to about the 19, where it is 1st and 10. Mount Carmel area here in this Eastern Final Championship football game.
I was wondering where you were going to come off with that because, you know, in the first half there, I didn't hear
I'm trying to control myself.
Oh,
for my health.
You mean control yourself like you did last week?
I had a medical opinion after last week that maybe I might want to look into a little self-control. Although I don't want to, I'm doing my best. I'll tell you what.
I can give you an opinion.
I had a heck of a good time last week. Ziegler up the middle. Ziegler will pick up 2 tough yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 now for the Red Tornadoes. The ball sitting at the 15-yard line. Actually gained 3 yards on the play. Let's say 7. It'll be 2nd down and 7 on the play. So the ball sitting at the 15. We've got to get inside the 10 to about the 8.5 for the first down at 2nd down. And Shinsky brings him up in the I formation. This time we give it to Veach, and he's going to go down. Number 59 for the Colts, and that's John Polishchak. And Polishchak read the play all the way, penetrated the line, and he'll drop Veach for a 2-yard loss on the play.
Got to slow down here with the lead blocker. Instead of driving through, we sort of stopped our forward motion a little bit, and that's what the backwash came back and tackled Veach.
So 3rd down and 9 now on the loss for the Red Tornadoes. Ball back around the 17-yard line of the Colts. This time we'll go back to Pat. A lot of pressure. And he finds Clea. A great play by Shinsky. He gets Clea down at the 7-yard line. 1st and 10. Red Tornadoes, and that was a play by Shinsky,
Yes,
Wayne.
it was. That was a great play. We've seen this a number of times by Dave Shinsky, but a lot of pressure. Center, the linebacker coming up on a blitz right through the center, but 51 and 87 had him wrapped around, and Dave threw as he was being tackled, and of course, great concentration on his part for a beautiful pass play that time.
1st and goal from the 7, and that was pretty. Shinsky did one whale of a job to get that ball off as he scrambled on, and he hits Clea for the first down. And the Red Tornadoes continue to move. This time we go to Veach. He tries to get outside. He does get outside, and he'll get down to about the 3-yard line, 2-yard line, where they mark his forward progress. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 2 for the Red Tornadoes.
Veach went through 4 guys.
I don't know how he did that.
He hit Tukoski and drove him back.
Watch this.
Take a look. Take a look at number 5 at the end of this play. Now. Watch here.
He splits one and out.
Smack.
Boom.
Look at Tukoski going backwards. You tell me.
You gotta love him.
You got some power.
He the man. He is the man. Tried to adopt him, of course, in the middle of the year, but his parents said no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. His parents
well, you should have went the other way around. You should have asked Bob and Don if they would have adopted you.
I asked that 4 years ago, and it was a no, so I didn't expect to hear it. Ziegler pops it into the end zone for a touchdown at the 4:24 mark of the 3rd quarter. It is Mount Carmel area 24, the Marian Catholic Colts 0, and that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you early, just sealed this game.
Oh yeah, there was an interception by Yasenchak that really did that in. We were very patient going down the field also. We had no reason to rush the score. We're up by 18 points. And all we had to do was just kill the clock, just eat some time off. But we did get into a point there, and Dave Shinsky comes out with an excellent, beautiful play and hits Kalia down in about the 7th.
Well, Yasenchak's going to give this another shot at the extra point. This time he got it. So he does get it now. And the score now, Mount Carmel area 25, the Colts 0 at the 4:24 mark of the third quarter. Mount Carmel area will line it up to kick off. Game went a lot so far like we thought it would. Colts playing much tougher this time around.
Definitely.
Donati, a great back. He's had a great game so far. They have not been able to generate a passing game, and unfortunately the passing game is what they need now to get back in this game. So they're going to have to pass the ball some and get some more success doing it if they have any chance whatsoever of catching the Tornadoes here on the way to Hershey.
But the only problem is that the defensive play by the defensive backs tonight, has definitely stepped it up. A lot different than what Dukoski had seen back on October 6th in the initial game. We are definitely covering everybody, and that is the reason why he only had 21 yards in the first half.
Well, the thing to remember here is we know Coach Dukoski a long time, and I'm telling you now, there's no quit here. His teams don't quit. They'll be playing this game till the final seconds, so you don't want to count them out, but it is a very deep hole that they put themselves in now, and they've got to do something almost immediately if they want to get out of it. Yasenchak's going to whack it down there again on that dribbling, and this one doesn't even go as far as the last time went. And again, it's the same guy, number 44, picking it up the ball. That's Fierstein. And Fierstein brings it up now to about the 40-yard line of the Colts, just over the 40, where they'll take over 1st and 10, and this is a critical set of offensive downs now for the Colts.
Yeah, they need to generate some offense. They tried in the last series to pass the ball and move it upfield a little bit, but Yasenchak stepping in for that interception.
Dukoski on a bootleg. He tries that shovel pass, and this time he's going to get some yardage out of it. He shovel passed it down in there to number 40. That's Blasco. Blasco picks up about 8 yards on the play. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Colts, and that's the 3rd time, and that time he got around the end.
Yeah, it's a good play because what happens is Ziegler is actually, his man is the quarterback, regardless of what we're doing. And, he goes after Dukoski right away, and what that leaves is a big open gap on the inside. We had Swank, number 54, coming over and trying to make the tackle.
Donati. And Donati is going to be bounced around a little bit, and he's going to be dropped outside of the 50. He didn't pick the first down up. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a very close. We'll see where they set it down at.
He's got about a half a yard to go yet before.
They want to measure this or the way he set it down? I'm not sure what he was looking at. It's 3rd down and less than 1. 3rd and less than 1. The ball sitting, straddling the midfield line. All he needs to do, all they want to do is get over the 50-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down for the Colts. Donati.
Ooh.
And he didn't do it.
I don't think he did.
Donati did not get over the 50-yard line, folks, so it's 4th down. They're going to have to go for it. Ooh, he took a hit in there. They're going to have to go for it, folks. They are. It's going to be 4th down. He didn't gain an inch on the play, reminiscent of last week.
Great penetration on that side, on the right side. I did not see who made the tackle over there because there was a swarm coming through, but he did get hit very hard, and it stopped his forward momentum.
So it's 4th now, and again, about 6 inches for the Colts here on a critical play here, as Donati was stopped with 6 inches to go on the last play, and we'll see what the Colts come. They may go court, and they don't. Donati again, and this time he manages to slither over the 50-yard line for the 1st down. There wasn't a whole lot of room, but he picked up about a yard on the play. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Colts in Mount Carmel area territory.
And Matsur getting up off the pile that time after making the tackle.
Back to pass now on the 1st down play. Plenty of time this time. Looking for Boretsky, but he's way out of the way as he almost hit the fence in the out-of-bound marker there. Way over Bretsky's head will bring up 2nd and 10. Dukoski has not been sharp tonight passing.
No, but I'll tell you what, he's had a lot of time. Maybe the problem is he's having too much time to look over his receivers, and he is trying to step up. And he does take quite a few shuffle steps to throw the ball, and he might be putting a little bit too much into it. That time, number 85, Justin Dillow, was on him completely, number 22, with John Veach coming over for extra help.
Back to pass again he goes, and this time he's looking at a screenplay, and he had Booker. Booker really was the guy that was going to screw that up. He was looking for his tight end, Whalen. He was looking for 89, Whalen. He was looking for a tight end screen there to Whalen, and Booker was standing right at Whalen when he looked over at him.
Yeah, he took him on, and he didn't even move from there. I guess Booker identified that it was a screen pass.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 10 now for the Colts, as both of those pass plays have failed. And it'll bring up another passing down, I think, for the Colts here. He leaves Donati in the backfield. He has a slot back, and it's going to be a running play to Donati, and Donati will pick up only about 2 yards on the play. 4th down now and 8 for the Colts from the Mount Carmel area 41-yard line.
Matsur's playing a heck of a game again. They all are, but there's another play by Matsur. You're sort of looking at 3rd and 10, and you're thinking maybe pass play, and of course what Coach Dukoski calls is a slant up through the middle, and Matsur does not leave his position at all.
So the Colts are forced to punt, and this is a tough one for them. That he faked it the last time, but this time they do not. Dukoski got a bad kickoff there. That was not as good as his regular was, but he gets a nice bounce. It's going to roll dead right about the 20-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, where they'll take over 1st and 10 with 1:14 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. The Red Tornadoes are up 25-0. Marian Catholic is used to success. They have had much success. They are one of the premier AA schools on the eastern side of Pennsylvania, have been for some time. So they're used to winning. They're used to being in big games, and they're showing it here as they have not lost their composure in this game. Ziegler up the middle, and he's free.
Oh, look at this stiff arm.
Dukoski. Ziegler's going to go for a big one. I don't think Dukoski can catch him.
He might get come on.
And he gets it in there. What a run by Ziegler.
Oh. Did you see that stiff arm by Ziegler?
That was incredible.
Oh, Aaron, I'm telling you what.
Ziegler.
Oh, excellent. Take a look. Here's the replay.
Oh, my goodness.
Open hole. Great blocking in the line. Now take a look. Number 5 comes over. Look at that. Right
Boom.
down. Right. What
now look how quick. I'll tell you what, look how quick Dukoski got back up, and he almost caught him. Watch him come back into the play.
Look. Take a look. Ziegler looked back once to see how close he was.
Here he comes
and
back.
And he knew he was not getting at his ankles. He dives for the end zone.
Mount Carmel area out now, 31-0 on Ziegler's 81-yard run for the end zone. Nice snap, but it's up and good. So with 1 minute and 1 second remaining here in the 3rd quarter of this Eastern Final Championship football game, it's Mount Carmel area 32, the Colts of Marian 0.
What more can you say? You're talking about a fullback that is supposed to be a blocking.
Well, that was a trap play.
Blocking.
I mean, he ran through a trap play and he made a touchdown for 80 yards, and it shows you what strength he has as he came through the line. The Colts now in serious condition. I mean, just serious condition now. There is very little chance that they think they can come back and win this football game, folks. It's just a hard-fought game, and Mount Carmel area is showing you why they are picked to win a state championship, why they are the team to beat every year in Pennsylvania in AA, and that's just it. We heard at halftime, although you've already heard this, but we heard it and are very glad to hear that our neighbors and good friends from the Southern Columbia area, Tigers of Southern Columbia area, apparently putting a whooping, an absolute whooping on
Lackawanna Trail.
Lackawanna Trail. So that means, unless, some kind of miracle happened, which I doubt in between this broadcast, they will be going to Hershey on Friday afternoon and playing for another state championship. Our hats off to the Southern Columbia area Tigers.
And good luck.
Yasenchak will boot it down. It's pretty much a usual now, although unusually number 44 didn't get it this time. He gets it down there to Honus, the freshman, and Honus bobbles it around but gets it picked up, and Honus will bring it out to about the 24-yard line where the Colts will take it over, 1st and 10.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, 2 weeks in a row, what more can you say?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could take much more of this, but a great run by Ziegler, great blocking in the center
Ziegler,
of that line.
He's the man now.
Oh, man.
He's the man now.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what.
That stiff arm Bowery back to the 20s.
I see. I'll tell you what. You've seen some of them that John Veach had thrown this year that raked somebody's head back.
Yeah.
Now here's your fullback doing the exact same thing that John did.
He's the man. This time he's got Donati free, and Donati's still free, and he may break it. And he does. Donati will put it into the end zone for the Marian Catholic Colts as he will score on a 76-yard run for the Marian Catholic Colts at the 42nd mark of the 3rd quarter. Al Donati of the Colts breaks a big one.
I'll tell you what, my hat off to that kid because he's been fighting all night long. He's been picking up 10 yards here, 10 yards there, doing some great running for this team, for the Colts and everything else. And I'll tell you what, it's happy to see that he can run in the Eastern Finals here.
Yeah, he deserves it.
75 yards and scores.
Extra point attempt is up and good. So with 40 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, it's Mount Carmel area 32. The Marian Catholic Colts 7. And that shows you why Donati came in here so well thought of.
Yep.
He's a player. He's got the speed once you get him loose. And he was close several times in the first half. But this time he got the step and he took off. And a nice 76-yard run for Donati. And he's well over 100 yards in the night now, too, for the Colts.
Yeah, you can see why he had 220-some yards
last week. Yeah, not hard to see why he's a player.
Yeah.
Completely quiet in our first meeting. In fact, nearly in minus yardage. But, in fact, he was in minus yardage, I believe, at the end of it. But really a tough competitor, and it's just a great way to see him earn something as he, let me look at him a little bit here. He's a senior in his final game here for the Colts and shows some excitement here. Colts will kick it off, and he dribbled it down there, and he dribbled it down to Yasenchak, the big tight end, and he kind of burst through the crowd there and saw the end zone for a second. But as we told him before, there was no way he was going to run all the way down there into the end zone from that far out.
Well, you know what? The thing of it was, he put his head. He was looking on the 40-yard line to hit somebody. He put his head down to hit somebody, and nobody was there.
Just kidding about the big guy.
Hey, he'll kick the heck out of you.
I want to make sure he knows I'm kidding because things going to get ugly if he doesn't. But Mount Carmel area will take it over 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line here. 34 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Veach picking his way around there, and he'll bring it over midfield, and he takes it down to about the Colt 43-yard line. Pick up about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 now for the Tornadoes.
Again, just continuing to run what we run all the time. Just nice trap plays to the right, to the left, some straight dives. That time letting John pick his hole over on the right side to pick up some extra yardage.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the 3rd quarter of play here with Mount Carmel out to a 32-7 lead. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is WKMC TV 13. You catch us every Wednesday of the football season on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, Channel 13. Of course, courtesy of the Service Electric Cable System. We are an instructional fixed television service, and we are also live at 7:30 in the morning of every school day. Catch us there and catch all the news that needs to be known about Mount Carmel area.
Well, this is now the 17th meeting between these two teams. Warren, we started back in 1977. There was a 10-year layoff. We picked them back up into 1987, and we continued on from there. In this series, believe it or not, even with all the good teams that Marian has had over the years, we are leading this series 14 wins and 2 losses. The 2 losses coming back in 90 and 92. So, you know, the Tornadoes have really had a great series against the Colts and have played, and they've come up with some good football teams over the years.
Yeah. Pitch it to Veach. He's heading to our sideline. He makes the cut back up. Still moving. He's still moving. Still moving. Still moving. Looks for a block, and he got one from Shinsky. As Shinsky hit Boretsky, and he finally goes out of bounds down at the Marian Catholic 17-yard line. But there's a typical John Veach run. You know, I mean, that's just typical.
It's the type of run that shows that you cannot tackle him up around the head. Take a look as he gets 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's hit a couple times. Nobody wraps the arms, though. Everybody tries to tackle him up around the shoulders. There's one there. Look at 89 here.
Whalen with a shot and completely missed him.
Yep. And he just continues over.
Look at Shinsky come in there.
Yep, he's looking to hit
somebody. Quarterback
somebody.
comes in and puts a block on Boretsky there to gain at least 10 more yards or more. As the Red Tornadoes now at 1st and 10 from the 17. And Shinsky wants to pass, and he finds the big tight end who bounces.
And scores.
And scores. Touchdown for the tight end.
He dove in that time and did break the plane right at the last second.
He ran right over Blasco, whacked him right to the ground and ran over him.
I'll tell you what, if you take a look, the key to that play was the fake dive to number 40 to Ziegler. We have Ziegler, the only back in the backfield, and usually when we have that, we see that Ziegler is carrying the ball up the center, and that's exactly what he did. He faked it up, and that held the linebackers enough for Dave just to step up a little bit and drop a pass right into Senchak on about the 10-yard line.
Vincey's saying, you know, I scored the touchdown. Now I got to kick the extra point too. High snap, ball a little bit by Shinsky, and we'll see what they do there. And it's going to go incomplete. He was looking down there. He had Brown in the end zone. So with the 11 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of play, it is Mount Carmel area 38, the Marian Catholic Colts 7. Nice play by Yasenchek. There you see the brute force that he can bring to a ball game. He just hammered Blasco and popped it into the end zone.
And the great hands, I'll tell you what, for how big he is. And you figure that he is playing a linebacker position, so he's taking a lot of shots on the hands and tackles and everything else. And, you know, he has a great set of hands. You put him in the center of the field for those short ones. Although that, what was that, a short one of 20-some yards. But give me a short one that scores a touchdown. 17 yards.
Yeah, 17 yards.
What more can you say?
So we'll have a new kickoff guy, Medalis, now, as they give Yasenchak a well-deserved rest over there. He needs to take a breather here. So Medalis will come in and do the kicking duties for Mount Carmel area. And we'll see what we decide to kick here. Medalis has a nice kick, and again it goes to the freshman Honus down there along the sideline, and Honus will take it up to about the Marian Catholic 35-yard line or so. We'll see when they finally put it down out of that mess down there. No, he got up, let's say to 30. I don't know, I can't see that far anymore. It's getting old things. Just
34-yard
line.
34-yard line. Dillo is the one to make the initial hit to drive him out of bounds.
It's like looking over the Colt Mount when I looked over there. Here you see Honus from the backside of the play. And Honus, the freshman, looks to the sideline then and picks up some yardage as the Colts will start it off 1st and 10. Bukowski goes back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure from Cuff. And he's going to head for the sidelines. He turns it up finally, and he'll cross it back over to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Shoppy, number 55, comes over. Great pressure from Cuff on the one side and Ziegler on the other side. And that pushes him out of the pocket. Look at Ziegler. He looks right at Ziegler and kicks him out. And look at Shoppy coming over. And Shoppy makes the tackle right out of bounds.
And she stayed in bounds, so the clock kept running. Yeah, the clock is running still. So Dukowski will bring it up. He gained 3 yards on the scramble. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 now. And this time we give it to Donati, and he's getting nowhere. He goes nowhere. In fact, he lost a little bit of yardage on the play.
Yeah,
it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Matsuri and Yasenchak getting up off the pile.
3rd and 7 now, as he basically got no gain. I won't say it's a loss. We didn't get anywhere forward either. Koski's back looking to pass. Plenty of time. Over the middle. He's got Donati and Veach. Veach makes a great play, but a flag goes down. Pass interference against the Red Tornadoes. Watch this play now. We'll see if we see it.
Donati has a lot of time here, and he does have a nice pocket set up, and he steps up into the pocket before he releases the ball.
You see the arm in the back? That's what they call. They call the arm around the back on Veach. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Colts. And the ball is just over I don't know where, I'm looking where we lined up at. We must have walked back 2 miles. But the ball is just over the midfield stripe at the Mount Carmel area 48-yard line, where it is 1st and 10 for the Colts. Donati trying to get outside. He does. This time Veach will bring him down, but not before he goes down to the Mount Carmel area 21-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Colts. Donati picking up big yardage. He sneaks around the end there.
Donati showing some great motion with his feet. He has very quick feet and great hip motion, because the hip motion is what you get your defender moving a little bit. And in this case here, he does it about 4 times. Takes off downfield. He picks up about 20 yards. Veach has to make the tackle.
He's trying to get it out there to Blasco, 40, but Blasco couldn't hold on to it, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Colts. Clock stops on the incompletion.
Again, Ziegler coming in, getting his hands up on that play, and that's what made Dukoski throw the ball a little bit too high, and Blasco couldn't even reach it.
Yeah, he was trying to lob it over Ziegler, and that's not easy to do. This time they come at Ziegler with the Donati, and Donati says, no, not going to happen this time. So Donati will be dropped back for a slight loss on the play. It brings up 3rd down and about 11 now.
We have Matsura, number 21, coming up into the hole first to stop Donati's forward motion, and he kicks him out to the outside, and Ziegler makes the stop then.
3rd and 11 now. He lost about a yard on the play when he set it back down there. He rolls out. He's rolling right at Cuff. Cuff had a hold of him there, and Cuff is the reason he couldn't get the ball out to Donati. Donati was down around the 18-yard line, but Cuff twisted him as he was throwing and broke the pass up. So it'll bring up now a 4th down and 11 for the Colts. The ball at the Mount Carmel area 22.5-yard line.
Yeah, Cuff made a very good play that time, coming in off the initial block from the halfback. The halfback was supposed to contain him to the outside for Dukoski to hit Donati out in the flat, but Cuffy blew right through him, and he didn't make an initial tackle, but he did make enough of disturbance back there.
Dukoski back to pass. Heavy rush by Ziegler now, and he's chasing him. And Dukoski will go out of bounds and give the ball up on downs as the 4th down play fails. And Mount Carmel area will take over on downs, 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line.
That time they were looking to go deep to number 22 and number 24 and number 14 down into the end zone, but we had 4 guys back there. Dukoski couldn't find anybody, and then from the pressure from Ziegler and then Brown getting him out of bounds also.
Veach right up the middle. Veach will take it up over the 25-yard line out to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Time continually ticks away. The Marian people now beginning to file out. It is a very cold night, folks. Very cold night, and it's getting colder over here. We're on the Marian sideline here, and it's getting even colder over here than it is on the red sideline on the other side there. Veach now with the ball again. Veach got a head of steam going there, and Veach will bring it up over the 35-yard line, all the way out to the 39-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Mount Carmel area.
Great block by Aaron Ziegler. He's a blocking fullback, and he just crushed the end and kicked him to the outside for Veach to run up behind him. Now to give Veach a little rest there. Veach is going off. We have Pilarski, number 42, coming into the backfield.
I'm wondering if we're not going to see Veach again. This time right up the middle with the fullback. Ziegler brings it up over the 45-yard line, gains about 6 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Red Tornadoes as Ziegler pounds it up the middle. Pilarski on the carry. Pilarski up over the 45 to about the 46-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd down and 3 now for the Red Tornadoes. John's over there talking to his dad.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that is an absolutely great conversation as his dad has watched between him and his brother some of the greatest football we may ever see here in Mount Carmel area, and he's standing next to his dad. That's a perfect picture that you'd want to see here in a game like this. Tini comes in motion. We got a new backfield altogether as Brown and Pilarski pops over the 50-yard line down to the 48-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Mount Carmel area as Pilarski now showing you what he can do. It was Pilarski,
definitely.
Right?
Yes, it is. You got it. That was
check that real
number
good.
42.
Because I'm parked next to Lashinsky, and I'm not going to get in trouble if I said that wrong.
That's 45.
I just wanted to be sure.
Okay.
We're parked right next to them there, and I could be in trouble this time. And I'm not sure where the Pilarskis are either, so I want to keep my eye open there, too.
37, Johnny Kirpridge comes into the ball game as a receiver.
Pitch it to Pilarski now as he tries to head to the sideline. He'll go out of bounds very close to the line of scrimmage. He was brought down there by number 11. That's Tony Lee. Lee, a sophomore for the Colts.
Yeah, you were talking about John over there talking to his dad. You can't forget also about Bobby Veach, the older boy that had played
3
for
brothers,
the
actually.
3 brothers.
2 of them were back-to-back here.
Yep.
The 3rd one was a little bit of a separation, if I remember right?
Yep.
But, 3 Veach brothers in this dynasty of a family that played football. Mount Carmel area again. They got a new backfield and some new people on offense here as we go right up the middle with Brown. And the big fullback churns his way down to about the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. As actually he got it back. He needed 2 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage. We lost 2 on the previous play. So 3rd and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the ball game. I just looked over and I think Joe Gushin fell asleep. He's napping, so nobody yell anything.
Okay.
Wait, he's up. He's up now. Okay, he's back. He just nodded off behind the camera a second. Pilarski's coming in motion now. Shinsky's going to pass under a lot of pressure, and he finds looking for the big guy, number 6, but just high on him.
Then he did. He had Vincey open out there too. But there was a lot of pressure. They blitzed the 2 linebackers that time, and Dave was going down when he did throw that ball.
So Mount Carmel area will punt the ball here on a 4th down play. The ball inside Marian Catholic territory, and they were unsure whether we were punting, I guess, because they had not got their team on the field exactly the way they wanted to.
They did this? Oh, he put a whole new team in.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I didn't realize that. And Shinsky boots it there in the direction of Donati. It's going to drop and bounce. It bounces inside the 10 at the Marian Catholic 8-yard line where it's down. Then it'll be Marian Catholic ball, 1st and 10, deep inside their own territory. 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
That must be their punt receiving team. He just shuffled everybody in and a whole new team. He's brought the first team,
I wasn't sure what he
first team
did there.
offense back onto the field here.
There were a lot of new uniforms in
Yeah.
that, but I don't remember if he had done that before or not.
Now we got number 45. Now we have Mike
Lashinsky and Beaver both in there now.
Yep.
As Dukoski's in the end zone. Almost got him in the end zone, and Lashinsky will bring him down just outside the 10-yard line at the 11.
Yeah, somebody almost had him down there. Number 59, who is that, Burster? Yeah, Nick Burster, number 59, putting excellent pressure back there.
Look at the replay. You can see Cuff
almost
has
had
a
him.
shot at him right for a second there, but he gets loose, and it takes Lashinsky to bring him down. He'll bring up 2nd down and 7 on the play. He gained 3 on the scramble. On the new faces in that Mount Carmel defense, we give it to
number 11.
11, that's Tony Lee, and Tony Lee brings it up over the 15, up over the 25-yard line for a first down. The 1st and 10 Colts here, as they have not given up in the ball game. Although there's 3 minutes and 27 seconds left, Mount Carmel area with many new faces in the game
Justin
here now.
Justin Dillo just went off the field, and Pilarski comes into that corner position.
So
64 comes in, Jared Smith.
Dukoski looking to pass now. He's looking way over here. He looked at number 22, Beretsky, but Beretsky couldn't hold on to it. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 now.
Steve Polifka, number 58, in playing the left defensive end position.
This time we'll give it to Donati, and he breaks it right up in the middle there. And he'll be brought down by Clea there and Medalis around the 43-yard line. It's enough for the first down. It's 1st and 10 Colts. Under 3 minutes to play, and again, I go back to what I have said before about a game like this. It's 38-7.
Yeah.
Why are you playing your first team? Put some guys in, let them get some experience, let them say they played, especially your seniors. Play your seniors here, and let them say they played in. And as you continue to go downfield, this time he was heading downfield for number 14 down there for the Colts, and that was Jim Manzel. A little too high for him as he's pushed out of bounds. Covered well by Clea and Medalis.
Yeah, the two of them had him sandwiched in there. Dukoski almost puts it right on the mark, though.
Yeah, he had a nice pass.
Yes, he did. Right there, was just over his fingertips.
So it brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Colts. It was an odd play as Dukoski on a keeper coming around the end there. Lashinsky slowed him up. Finally brought down in there by
61, Jared Owens.
Also had number 35 on the play down there for the Red Tornadoes, and that's Shivelhood. And Shivelhood made a nice play on the cutback.
Nice to see Robbie back. Robbie was injured there for a little while during the season.
So it brings up a 3rd down and about 4 for the Colts here. As he goes back to pass, and he's under a lot of pressure there. But he heaves it down. He's got Beretsky clear, and Beretsky goes down. It was a hard pass to catch.
Flag on the play.
Flag down on the play way up at the line of scrimmage, and I'm afraid that's going to go back, I think. Let me see what they call. Because it's way on the other side of the field where it went down at, and it is. It will come back. Illegal procedure against the Colts at the 1:59 mark of the ball game. And again, I still say put the rest of your seniors in if you got any you haven't played yet. Now's the time. You can't win the game. Another score is meaningless in the football game.
Right.
We want to just say a couple of things here for Marian. Of course, we talked about the rivalry. Nobody better than the Marian people. We see them now, 2 times this season just about. A great rivalry, of course. Coach Charlie Connolly next to us in the room next to us here. He's leaving here now. It's always good to see him and his crew. Thank you. They're wishing us good luck as they go by. That's the kind of rivalry it is. Just a great group of people from Marian. We enjoyed playing them twice this year. It's been 2 great games. Always good to see them. We will see them next year. They will be another powerhouse as usual as they come next year. You got a minute 32 remaining in the game. We also want to take a moment here. We talked about it last week. We'll talk about it again because it truly deserves being told. We're here at Kemp, and Kemp Memorial's become an old friend.
A home to us.
An old friend. It's our home away from home as the Colts pull a reverse, and Shivelhood pushes them out of bounds. Nice play by Shivelhood to read the play and push him out. Also, Lashinsky chasing the play down at a minute 9 to go. But the people here at Shamokin area are the best. They are just truly the best people you're going to find. I can never believe that they go out of the way they do.
Yes,
I mean,
they
you
do.
know they're going to treat you well, but they just continue to be just great people to work with. Of course, we got invited over into the pre-game party over there in the maintenance building today by Mike Carpenter, a good friend of ours on the school board here, and the other school board members. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart, from everybody from Mount Carmel area. You have launched us to Hershey 3 times now. We've brought back a championship twice, I'm sorry, 3 times, not twice. And you're launching us on our way again. And we want to say thank you. It's a good luck charm to be here. The field was fabulous. We appreciate your understanding and let us play on such a great field when you're trying to grow it for the next season. And the kind of money you put into it, it'll never be forgotten from Mount Carmel area side of the ball. We can't wait to do this again. Thank you very much from everybody in the Mount Carmel area school district. You've been the best. Flag goes as the pass is completed there. You have a new quarterback in the game now for the Colts. There's a whole new offense popped in there. Quarterback was T.J. Lawrence. And take a look at T.J. number 12 there. He's a freshman. The reason I say that is you'll be seeing him again. 55 seconds remaining here in this Eastern Pennsylvania final championship football game.
What was that again?
Championship football game.
Gotcha.
I want you to stay with us after the game, folks. We want to talk a little bit about someone that you're very familiar with and this team in general, but someone in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been our privilege in the 4 years that we have done this. We have seen John Veach so many times. He has electrified us. He has shown us football on a level that maybe we were, not ever going to see again. I don't know. I mean, there's always somebody great coming up, I guess, but until they do, he will epitomize what is Mount Carmel area football, what it is to wear that red and white helmet. And as soon as this game concludes, which is shortly, we will take a moment and try to recap what you've seen, what number 25 has done in his career here at Mount Carmel area. You will truly be amazed. Truly, you will be amazed at what you hear. You've seen it, but it just bears repeating, and we just want to do this one time, as this will be the last time we get to televise John Veach here for ourselves anyway, as he'll move on to the college ranks. Pass is incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 20 for the Colts here. Clock sitting at the 49-second mark. As everybody has new faces on each side of the ball now here in this final, as the game comes to a close with Mount Carmel area winning 38-7 here. Final seconds are coming as Mount Carmel area. I noticed about this press box, it keeps moving now. You noticed that last week.
That's why I'm happy you're staying in one spot.
We had a little bit of sway there for a second. I
really
got worried.
You had it swaying last week, but you just didn't notice.
I didn't notice it that it was swaying last week. The clock will keep running as he stayed in bounds. He did not get out of bounds, so
Ben
clock
Inoski,
continues.
number 32, taking him out of bounds along with Robbie Shivelhood, number 35.
And he gives it a heave downfield. Woo. Nice pass.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he has an arm.
Yeah, just out of the reach of his receiver, but that's for a freshman. He gave it a wing there. 7 seconds remaining, the final play of the football game here tonight in this 2000 Eastern Final. The Red Tornado faithful are on their feet, and they are celebrating Hershey, Pennsylvania, where once again the red and white uniform will appear on a field in Hershey and attempt to bring home a coveted state championship and add one more chapter to the storied history of this program. fourth now, Wayne.
Yes.
Fourth in wins across the country. The number 4 team in the United States.
That's one thing we did not mention during the broadcast. That
3, 2, 1. There it is. It's a final, ladies and gentlemen. Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 38. The Marian Catholic Colts 7. And the Red Tornadoes have defended their Eastern Final championship and will move to Hershey for the state championship. We will play either, and you know this by now, but we will play either Aliquippa or Sharon. They're playing Saturday, the day after this game is being shot. So you will see either one of those teams. There the red and white and silver Hershey kisses down there as we celebrate another trip down 81 to the state championship game. This will be, of course, the last football broadcast of the season for us.
Yep.
We want to thank everybody, and truly everybody who was part of this for us. It's been a great year, as always. We truly appreciate the support and the actual ribbing we get.
The comments, yeah.
The comments.
We tend to think of
them.
Very supportive and very kind comments to us.
Yeah,
you're right. But it's a great season. After all these games, and I was just telling Deb the other day that it just seems like 2 weeks ago we were in 90-degree sweltering weather playing while missing on the first game.
Yeah.
We have a great time doing this, and we do appreciate it. And I thank you, Warren, for a great season. I'll tell you what, it's been great. It's been a great 12 years, it's just a lot of fun. The people just don't understand that.
Yep, it is. We want to thank the crew. Without them, none of this is possible. They have done their yeoman work. They were at Supper Club last week.
Yep.
We were proud to honor them at Supper Club. They all came down, had a meal with us, and had to rush out and do the game. But really a great thing to see them. We remind you quickly, tomorrow, Thursday night, Supper Club is at Villagetown. At the Villagetown restaurant over there at the intersection of 5461. Come down. Come with us. Meet with us before the championship game. You're going to love it. Hear what Coach Brennan has to say. Let me just recap this year for you. In the year 2000, John Veach rushed 327 times for 2,574 yards and 37 TDs. They are school records. He only had 9 receptions for 165 yards and 1 TD. Punt returns, 10 for 48 yards. Kickoff, 5 for 48. All-purpose yards, 2,835. Total points scored in the year 2000 for John Veach in his senior year, 236. There are 739 yards rushing in just the 3 playoff games leading to this one. I mean, just try to understand that, folks. 739 yards in the 3 playoff games of this year. Now, sit back and just let this settle in for you a little bit. Career rushes. He rushed the ball. Did he rush the ball 1,005 times? 1,005 carries. 6,843 yards. Now remember, I do not have his totals tonight. He may very well have crossed the 7,000-yard mark. I don't know that yet.
At this point. All right.
You will know this. We will announce this during the show. We'll interject this in. But so far, before tonight was over, he had 6,843 yards rushing. That is a school record.
And there is only a handful of rushers that have done that in the state of Pennsylvania. There may be 6 in the history of football in Pennsylvania to have crossed over that milestone.
81 TDs, 81 touchdowns. Receptions, 56 for 762 yards and 9 TDs in pass receiving. Punt returns, 33, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. Kickoffs, 19 for 322 yards, 1 touchdown. All-purpose yards in his career. Are you ready, people? Are you sitting down? John Veach, in his career at Mount Carmel area, in the 4 years he's played here, has 8,100 all-purpose yards. Total points scored in the 4 years he's been with us, 568, a school record. 92 touchdowns, a school record. He started, and this is a stat that you don't think about much, but I'm going to tell you, this stat means as much as anything I just read to you. He had 55 consecutive starts in his career. 55 consecutive starts in the young man's career. 43 games of the 55 he started, he scored a TD in. 34 of the 55 games he started, he rushed for 100 yards or more. 34 times, 100 yards or more. 10 games. Are you ready for this one, folks? 10 times in his career he rushed for over 200 yards. He had 6 4-touchdown games. There it is, folks. That's what John Veach has done in the 4 years he's been with us. He has done everything you can do as a running back at Mount Carmel area. What he has also done is epitomized what tough Coal Region football is. When you look back and you think about his offensive statistics, when you think about everything he did, I want you to then think about his defensive statistics. How many times have you seen him put a hit on a guy that was crushing? How many times did he save a touchdown? How many times did he intercept something, in the last seconds and save a game for us over 4 years? John Veach epitomizes Mount Carmel area football. He has taken our tradition, he has taken our history one step above where it was, all by himself. Now, there were great players in this program over the years. There have been fabulous, great players. He has become one of them. He leads them in many ways as he leaves here. I can't look in a crystal ball and see down the road what will happen. And maybe there'll be a guy like him out there that's just, being born, or he's in the C-team midgets. I don't know that. Or maybe it's 50 years from now. I don't know. All I know is that up till now, John Veach has shown us what football is all about on a high school level in Pennsylvania. All I can say to him, I've said so many nice things. He's a great kid. His family is a fabulous family. We've talked about his 2 brothers. But when you look at what he's done here, he's going to go into his final game, a championship game. That's fitting, truly fitting that his final high school football game will be at Hershey for a championship. But I just want to say to him, from us, and I think from everybody who's watched him play football in 4 years, the only thing you can say to him is thank you for just letting us watch him, to see the talent, the way he carried himself, the way he represented Mount Carmel area football. Because when you think about it, and when people who have only seen him in these 4 years, or if you're a Lakeland and seen him only one time and see 297 yards, when they think Mount Carmel football, they'll think him. And I'll tell you what, that's not a bad thing at all. I think it's great to think of him as the representative. One other record you want to talk about really quickly here is number 69, Nick Cuff. He broke the all-time sack record this year. Whew. And, he broke it later in the year, and we were talking about so many things. We mentioned it. I just want to mention it again. That is a phenomenal record. And, and I want everybody to think about what he's also done. Again, he has, another game that he's playing for us next week. But he's also going to come back. So, the big number 69 returns to you next year. So keep that in mind, too. But just on behalf of all of us fans, and that's what Wayne and I are. We're fans. That's nothing more, nothing less. We're just fans of football and Mount Carmel area football. To those 2 guys, thank you. To John Veach, the very best of luck, whatever you do, wherever you go. And I'm sure wherever you go and whatever you do, you will be very successful at it. But it's just take a moment from all of us. And, again, thanks to both of you guys. We will see you on Saturday in Hershey. We hope to hoist that trophy. But either way, it's been a great career for John, a great year for Nick, and for Mount Carmel area football.